This is Rachel here. Welcome to this week's version of this week's session of financial literacy lunch bite. This week is session number 5. So what's going to happen is I'll share my slides with you later on. So I wanted to give a brief introduction of this session. If you're new to this lunch bite series, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome too. So this is our lunch bite series, which will be held every Wednesday afternoon at this time. It will be a weekly webinar series and it's live, so that the people who attend the webinar with me live will be able to ask questions on the spot, ask clarifying questions or any related topic that you may have, and I will be answering on the spot. So if you're watching this as a recording, do join me on the live webinar, or you can email and message me your questions and I will come back to you after that. So again, welcome to Financial Literacy Lunch Bite. This week, I will be talking about the 4th step of my 4-step framework. Let me share my slides with you. Give me 1 minute while I share my slides. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Okay, now I have to get to the screen where I am showing this as a presentation mode. Yeah. There you go. How do I get this to? Okay, give me a minute. Okay, technical issues. My apologies. Okay, cool. Okay, we've got this. Okay, so this is Financial Literacy Lunch Bite. This is the 5th week that I'm running this lunch bite session. Thank you for joining me this week. So this week's topic is only half an hour. So each week I will keep the topic to, I will keep each 30 minutes session confined to one particular topic. So previously, for the past, I've recently started this lunch bite series, started in the beginning of June. So actually mid-May, yeah, until now. So this week's focus will be on the 4th step of the 4-step framework. Just to recap a little bit, the first step, if you have missed the previous 3 weeks, don't worry, I will have the recordings up soon in the near future, yes, and I will notify all when the recordings are up. So to recap a little bit, in the 4-step framework, step 1 comprises of the now, which would be assessing the assets and liabilities of your current situation where you are at point A. I also mentioned about the journey to taking actions, the journey to the financial life that you want to be, starts from point A where we are now to point B where our goal is. So step 1, as I mentioned earlier, step 1 is actually the now, where you assess where your current assets and liabilities are. Step 2 is the blocks, removing the blocks that are in our lives, removing the things that are stopping us. Obviously, if it is a goal that we want to achieve and we are not there yet, there could be something that are stopping us from reaching there. Excuse me. And because of that, step 2 is about identifying what are the blocks. It could be a belief, it could require a mindset shift, it could be some actions or habits that are stopping us from getting to where we want to be. That is step 2. And step 3 is the resources that we build to help us to get there. It could be confidence, it could be actual resources like time, knowledge, skill, anything, it can be a resource. So that was what I covered in the past 3 weeks. And so this week we are going to focus on the 4th step, which is the goal. So this week I'm going to talk about the goal. And the goal, remember earlier I mentioned about point A and point B. So the goal here is actually the point B that we want to work towards too. So, and well, goal setting is a commonly used exercise at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, but I would invite you to think about this, about setting a goal in the short term and in a long term. Goals are set such that it is something, it's almost, it's not exactly the same, but it's almost equivalent as setting out an intention for what you want to achieve. So when it comes to goals, you can set it on a daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, annual basis. So goals can be huge goals like building an empire, or small goals like what do you intend to achieve for the day. So those are the goals, those are the point B that we're looking at. So the objective of going through this 4-step framework is to again get you from point A to point B. And like I mentioned, this week's focus is the goal. So when the goal is something that you want to achieve, you will think about what exactly it is. And for you to be able to achieve a goal, it needs to be something that is clear to you. It's almost the same as, telling someone that, hey, I want to be, a negative example would be telling someone that, hey, I want to be happy, right? Happiness can be a goal. But then my question would be, what is happiness to you and how do you know that you're there? So think about it. The goal that you set has to be something that is specific, that is measurable, almost similar to what people commonly thought as the SMART goal. If you're familiar with it, good, then you probably have the framework around it already. If you're not familiar with it, please go and Google. Google is a very useful tool for us. So Google SMART goal and you will know what the SMART stands for, the different acronyms. But essentially, it is helping you to create or to set a goal that is specific, measurable, within the time frame and stuff like that. And so my invitation for you is to set a goal that is measurable and specific, and so you know what you are going for. With regards to our topic about financial literacy, I just want to emphasize this. Financial independence is a goal. Then the next question would be, how would you know when you're there? Financial independence, financial freedom, a lot of things to do with financial. A lot of people want a lot of things to be financial. A lot of people want to be able to do whatever they want, whenever they want to. A lot of people want to be, today is a rainy day, to be sleeping on a rainy day and not doing anything at all. But then I would ask, if that is your version of financial independence, that is your version of financial literacy, then what else is there and how exactly are you going to get there? So that's food for thought. So if you are watching this for the first time, or if you are with me for the first time, then know that I will always be asking a lot of questions. Part of my job as a coach and part of what I do in seminars and stuff like that is webinars, seminars, workshops, is to ask questions. And I want to spend a little bit of time explaining this, because when I ask questions, you will actually be triggered to think about it. And the intention is, and along different times, different part of the same webinar, I could be asking the same question differently or towards a different aspect. The main intention is for you to let the question sink in and allow yourself for the answer to come up. It need not be a conscious thing. It could be an unconscious, automatic answer. And so what I ask is for you to just notice what it is that comes up, the answer that comes up, what it is that came up, and take note of it. Yeah. So that's the reason for my answer and my question, sorry. That's the reason for me asking a lot of questions. And along the way, the more question that I ask, the more question that trigger your thoughts. It's almost similar to, peeling back an onion. As I begin to ask more questions, we begin to peel back the layers of an onion. We go from the outer layer, we go deeper and deeper into the core of the issue or the message or the situation that you want to look at. So it is a skill to ask questions and skill to ask very, very good and relevant questions. So coming back to this week's topic, coming back to your goals. So the questions that I would be asking you is, what are the goals that you have set for yourself in the area of financial, and how would you measure it? So, if you look at the screen, this is a very interesting, cartoon that I came across, and I thought that it's quite, self-explanatory. The husband says he wants all these things, but at the end of the day, when you drill down to the root of it, what exactly does he want? When he says all that, he is actually referring to, the wife knows him very well. So the wife actually asks, do you want beer or vodka? So the essence of this is to be specific and to be truthful to yourself. At the end of the day, we don't answer to anyone else except ourselves. And of course, apart from our parents, our people that we are responsible to, but we only, end of the day, the first person that we are answerable to is ourselves. So be truthful to yourselves when it comes to what exactly you want. And be truthful to yourself about what exactly you want and be specific about it. A few months back, I was actually in KL. I just want to share this little story. I was in KL a few months back, and I was just outside. I can't remember which station it was. I think it was KLCC. And I was there, and I was just in front of this shopping mall. Just came out from the hotel in front of this shopping mall. And I bumped into this lady. So this lady was asking, hey, do you know where this hotel is? I think it's Mandarin Oriental. This hotel is. Then I told her, yeah, it's just round the corner because I came from there. Then she was like, okay, thank you. And she went off. But that incident sort of stayed with me. And I thought about it. And then I was like, what if she doesn't ask and she went the other way, direction instead? And or what if she heads in the wrong direction, and she doesn't get to where she is going? Or what if she gets the name of the hotel wrong, and she doesn't eventually, of course she won't reach there because she doesn't know exactly where she's going for. And what a pity that would be, because the whole destination is just round the corner. And relating it back to our topic for this week, what would happen is, can you imagine if you didn't know specifically what you're looking for, and it could be just round the corner, and if you were able to clearly specify what are the tangibles that you would get when you have it, like, for example, okay, let me just shift the fan a little bit. Yeah. And for example, oops, too much. And for example, if you were able to, I would encourage you to identify the goal, and with that, help yourself to see where you are at that goal. So it's about visually being able to see it in your imagination, in your mind, see what your goal is. It's about firing up your senses, triggering your senses, being able to see what your goal is, being able to hear what your goal is, being able to feel what your goal is. If you can taste, if you can have bodily sensations on You know, if you can stand, even your posture, the way you stand, the way you sit, the way your face reacts when you achieve that goal, that would bring that particular goal up and alive to you, and it will become very, very, very real. And that will, it has two objective. One of it is for the goal to be so real that it becomes a motivation for you, knowing that you can actually reach it and touch it. The second objective is just so that you know that it's going to happen. So in a little while, I am going to bring you through an exercise that will help you to, okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide. So for this slide, it's about being specific. And in a little while, I am going to bring you through a little exercise to allow yourself to visualize what it is, and how it feels to have that goal in front of you. So if you're familiar with my work, you know that I utilize a lot of NLP in the things that I do. I'm actually trained in it and I'm certified. And I use a lot of it in the area of cash flow to help people shift mindsets, to help people shift their state, build confidence, remove interferences. Yeah. So a little bit about NLP at this stage, because it will link to the process that I'm going to go through with you in a while. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. So it works with the unconscious part of our mind. You know, we have a thinking mind, but that thinking mind only comprises 10% of our whole mind, and the rest of it, 90%, is the unconscious part. And with that, it actually helps. To identify. NLP helps people, or as coaches, I use NLP to identify patterns, programs that people have. And what I'm going to bring you through is actually essentially a process, technique that we have that is called the future goal. And what it is going to do is I'm going to walk you through this exercise to get you to visualize your goal, to visualize what you see, hear, or feel in the goal, and then to drop it in the near future. So right now, I'm going to give you 13 seconds to think of a goal, financial goal that you want to achieve. That's right, 30 seconds to think of a financial goal that you want to achieve. Okay, got it? Good. So now you can do this quick process with me, open eye, close eye, it doesn't matter. But what I need you to do is to focus and to be with me, listen to my voice, and, you know, walk through this with me. So in your mind, think about what it is that you really want. Bring up the goal that you come up with a few seconds back. Okay, bring up this goal and ensure that this goal is in the positive. Ensure that this is what you really want, not what you don't want. For example, people say, I don't want to be poor. Good, then what do you want? I want to have money in the bank. I want to be rich. Then what does rich means to you? Rich probably means having, well, to me, it means, well, rich is not a word that I use for myself, but for me to be sustainable, I probably need X amount in the bank coming in every month. So that is it for me. So, but what is it for you? You know, talk about that. Think about that goal. Ensure that it's specific, measurable, and it is what you want, not what you don't want. Okay. And then now think about how will you achieve it? What will you see, hear, or feel when you have it? And it will be reflected in your posture, the way you sit, the way you stand, your facial expression, even the words that you speak, if you see yourself speaking. So in your mind, I want you to imagine that you have this goal now. Right? That's right. Imagine that you have this goal now and notice how it feels to have accomplished this. Notice how it feels to have accomplished this. And notice what you see and notice what you hear as well. Focus on your goal. No, don't have to look at me. My screen is not going to change. Yeah, but I want you to focus on your goal. Notice what you see, what you hear. And when you have this clearly in your mind, the focus is there, turn up the volume if you hear anything, turn up the brightness in your mind if it's something that you see. You know, increase the brightness like you know, old school TV, there's a dial at the side. Yeah, tune it up, turn in your mind, hold on to that button and turn it up. Increase the volume, increase the intensity of it, increase the brightness of it. That's right. And when it gets as bright and as good as it can get, turn it into a photo. Sorry, I pulled out something. Yeah. Turn that goal when it gets bright enough, turn it into a photo that you can hold in your hand. When it gets bright enough, turn it into a photo and that you can hold in your hand. Right? Stay with me. And now imagine you can float above yourself holding that photo. Imagine in your mind that you can float above yourself holding that photo and allow your unconscious mind to float out into the future to an unspecified time in the near future, and you allow your unconscious mind to take charge. Unconscious mind does not have a time frame. It doesn't differentiate 1 year, 1 minute, 1 month, 10 years from now, and just allow it to flow at its own pace. Allow it to take charge and watch as you now release that photo and you watch it float down into your timeline, and it lands in the exact right place that it is meant to be. And that would be the day that your goal gets achieved. So now, you know, when you're there, turn back and look towards now in your mind, turn and look towards now and notice all the events between then and now are realigning themselves to support you in having achieved this goal now. That's right. And now I want you to float back to now and open your eyes. And take a minute to, you know, recollect yourself. And, you know, what do you notice? What do you notice about the goal now? Is it more real? Is it more achievable? Do you have a sense of, you know, especially the last part where, you know, you turn back and you see all the events realigning yourself. Do you have more, you know, a sense of confidence, a sense of affirmation that that goal is not that far away, and a sense of affirmation that, okay, that thing may be happening soon, and you know that events are realigning themselves to actually help you to get to where you want to be, right? So how do you feel?